African Americans built this nation. You built this nation. You know, you're just starting to get real credit for that, okay? I don't know if you know that. You're just starting to get, you built the nation. We all built it, but you were such a massive part of it. Bigger than you were given credit for. Does that make sense? Right? But through generations of blood, sweat, and tears, and you deserve a government that defends your interests, protects your families, and cares for our own citizens first. My administration is fighting with everyone and all our heart to reverse the pain inflicted by Democrat leaders and to deliver hope and opportunity and prosperity for all Americans, but for African American communities all throughout our land. African Americans built this nation. You built this nation.
America, we're tired of living like this. We're tired of suffering like this. We can build a nation of our own. Black men died at Pearl Harbor. Black men died in Guadalcanal, in the Solomon Islands, in the Philippines, at Iwo Jima. Black men died in North Africa fighting the Germans. Black men died at Anzio Beach, at Palermo, at Naples, to free Rome, to free Paris, to free Europe. Damn it! We died to build America. And America has rebuilt Germany and Japan, and the nigger is still suffering and dying in the streets of America.
Today, I bring you a message that exposes the fear of a collapsing empire. DJT stood before Black Americans and said this world, you build this nation through generations of blood, sweat, and tears. You build America. He literally confessed what Black people have been saying for centuries. He begged Black people not to leave. He promised protection. But I must tell you, it is too late. Black Americans are leaving, and Africa is rising, and America itself, it's falling. Okay? This is not about politics. This is prophecy. And in this video, I'm going to break it down for you. But before I continue with my commentary, I want you to watch these clips here, and then we continue.
How do you think the economy would look in America if all the Black people just say, you know what, we out?
Why do you think they stopping? Your president just banned it. 12 countries about to ban, he said 25 more. Yeah. And like as I told you, all of them are brown countries. Yeah. Ghana was on that list. So they already seen the exodus of Black people getting more passports, getting more documentation for countries. They don't want your money leaving here. So now they about to play more games with us. You see what I'm saying as far as travel? They know what would happen. Now you got, because when I go over there, or I'm dealing with companies, they want us to come over there because we already know the game they playing. So they're getting educated off of Black Americans about the games that's being played.
You think that the American economy will collapse?
Negro, in the damn ground. And then not only that, which is sad to say, you got a lot of white people who are bigoted and racist. They're going to turn on their own white people because they need somebody to hate. And they are going to annihilate the other white people who still here with them. They need somebody. Think about the Civil War. They was fighting each other.
Probably the poor whites.
They're going to annihilate. They're going to be the poor white people that annihilate the other ones because they're the ones that ain't got nothing.
True, because it's more poor
they ain't got
than
nobody
it's
else to hate. If you don't have nobody else to hate here, and that's your culture. That's part of your culture. What you going to do? You about to eat each other alive.
Have you ever noticed how America really doesn't want Americans traveling like that? And for Black Americans, that truth runs even deeper. Because the moment we leave the country, we all start to see the lies. You realize life doesn't have to be constant struggle, fear, and survival. You see Blackness celebrated in ways America never taught us, or even showed us. You see communities thriving without the threat of racism at every corner and built into every system. And then it hits you. America fed us propaganda. They taught us to believe that we were unwanted everywhere else, that we had to fight for scraps here and be grateful for it, and that leaving wasn't an option because this was the best we were gonna get. Why, you asked? To keep us trapped, poisoned, and under control. But the illusion is cracking. Black Americans are traveling, relocating, building wealth. and freedom overseas. That's why you're starting to see them really cracking down on us traveling more and more. And once you see the truth with your own eyes, that you can fully live safely and abundantly beyond the constraints of America, you can't unsee it and you can't go back. America's power has always been in keeping us blind and divided. But when Black Americans travel, unite, and claim freedom globally, the game changes. That's why they don't want us going anywhere. Because the moment we realize we're not powerless, the control is gone and the system is done.
Imagine waking up tomorrow and every Black and brown person in America is just gone. No warning, no explanation, just poof, gone. The workforce, the culture, the communities, the contributions, just all erased overnight. What would happen to America? Would it thrive, like some racists claim? Or would it collapse under its own weight? Let's talk about it. Black and brown workers make up nearly half of America's essential workforce. Nurses, teachers, farm workers, truck drivers, construction workers, delivery drivers, just gone. The $3 trillion that Black and brown consumers contribute to the economy, vanished. Small businesses, over 30% of them are minority owned. That means empty storefronts, lost jobs, and neighborhoods turned into ghost towns. We know for a fact that the U.S. relies on immigrant labor in historically oppressed communities to do the work that it doesn't want to acknowledge. Without Black and brown people, who's going to keep things running? Who's going to make America cool? Let's be real. American culture is Black and brown culture. Hip-hop, gone. Latin music, gone. Fashion, slang, food, art, all gone. The NBA, the NFL, boxing, decimated. No more Serena Williams, no more Patrick Mahomes. No more Jalen Hurts. No more LeBron, no more Messi. No more Usain Bolt. You're watching a golf tournament in silence now. Black culture alone generates billions for corporations, but those same corporations fight against Black empowerment. Imagine them trying to profit off America, but they have nothing but bland corporate branding and country music. But we created that too. 1 in 5 doctors, 1 in 4 nurses, 1 in 3 home health aides are Black or brown. Who's going to take care of America's aging population? The agricultural industry. Most farm workers are Latino. That means no fresh fruits and vegetables. Fast food, meat packing, warehouses, sanitation. Heavily dependent on Black and brown labor. But if they're gone, those industries, they shut down overnight. The same people that America underpays and disrespects are the ones keeping it alive. 40% of the U.S. military is made up of minorities. Without them, America's global power weakens instantly. Law enforcement? Black and Latino officers make up 30% of the police force. Who's going to patrol the communities? America would no longer be a superpower. Because trust me, the rest of the world is watching. America needs the very same people that it mistreats. The U.S. relies on immigrant workers and young Black and brown folks to fund programs like Social Security and Medicare. Without them, there aren't enough taxpayers left to support the system. Retirement funds? Drained. White America will realize too late that the same people they spent decades trying to suppress are actually the backbones of this country. America's entire financial system depends on people of color, but it refuses to invest in them. Who's left to blame after we're gone? Without Black and brown people, who's going to be the new problem? Can't blame crime on inner cities. Can't complain about taking our jobs. Can't scapegoat immigrants anymore. So who's the new target? Because history shows that when oppressed people disappear, the powerful just find a new enemy. The reality is Black and brown people built this country, fund this country, and maintain this country. America doesn't function without its most exploited and underappreciated people. The real question isn't what happens if we leave. The real question is, why is America so dependent on people that it refuses to respect? The fact is, America doesn't deserve Black and brown people. But without us, it doesn't exist.
Welcome back. Now, for a number of years, for decades, for generations, Black people shouted the truth. Black people say that we built this nation. But they said, but nobody listened to them. They said we built the plantation of the South. We built the railroads and the steel industries. We built Wall Street. We built the music, the art, the sports, the language, culture that America brags about globally. But for centuries, America refused to admit it. And history books erased everything that Black people created. History books were banned so that the real history that Black people created a nation of America does not stand, okay? Politicians ignored Black people. president silenced the truth. And right now, in the second run of DJT 2025, America is drowning in debt and white fear is exploding. When Africa is calling black people back home, suddenly DJT stands and say, you build this nation. How? Of course it is the truth. It is the truth, but it has come too late. It is too late. Just ask yourself, why is Trump begging black people to stay? Because telling them this truth, telling them that you build the nation and telling black people that I will give you protection, this is like telling you, please just stay. Because DJT knows very well that black people are the engines of United States. Black people fuels the economy of America. He begs black people to stay because black America has awakened, because the exodus has already started. I see my brothers and sisters moving to Ghana. I see them going to Kenya. I see them going to Nigeria, to Tanzania. I see my brothers and sisters buying land, starting farms, opening schools, building businesses. I see my black Americans brothers saying, if America won't give us freedom, we will build for ourselves in Africa. DJT sees it too. He sees a nation losing its heartbeat, and he knows that America without black people is an empire with no soul. America without people is an empire with no rhythm. It is an empire with no power, and that's why he begs black people to stay. Just imagine each and every black American decide to move back to motherland, decides to leave Africa, decides to leave America and go to Africa. What will happen? Let's hear this. What will happen? You know, the begging cannot stop prophecy, because even that begging cannot stop history, okay? Because black people are already living and America is already falling. Just look around. You will see the economy is in crisis with trillions in debt and the dollar losing global dominance. You will see white Americans are fleeing cities themselves. Some are going to the suburbs. Some are going to other Europe countries, you know? They are fearing diversity they cannot control. You will see violence, division, and political chaos dominate daily life. Okay? Right now, other nations does no longer respect America's power. We have BRICS there. BRICS is in the midst trying to change the influence. Okay? So, the fall of an empire, it is like this. What we are seeing, it is the fall of an empire, and no confession and no promise and no begging can stop it. Trump told black people that you deserve a government that defends your interests, you know? You deserve a government that protects your families and cares for the citizens. But come on, where was that protection when black men and women were lynched? Where was that protection when police was unaliving our brothers and sisters, our brothers? Where was that protection when cities burned down black people's wealth? Where was that protection when our communities were flooded, or black people communities were flooded with drugs? When black leaders were unalived? When black children were trapped in failing schools? You are saying protection now? It is too late. It is too late because the damage is done. The trust is broken and the future is already shifting. Africa exodus has begun. All over the world, you can see black Americans are leaving. The gates of Africa are open. Ghana said, year of return. Kenya said, come home and invest. And Nigeria said, you are welcome. And black Americans responded that we see on YouTube channels filled with testimonies. We see families moving to America, to Nairobi, to Accra, not America, to Lagos, saying that we finally feel free. Black Americans said, the only place you can invest as a black person and be free is where there is your black family, and it's Africa. The only place you can walk freely in the street without being followed is where you have the people looking like you, and that place is Africa. You know, being honest, America knows every truth. America knows without black people, it dies. Economically, America dies. Because black Americans buying power is nearly to $2 trillion or more than that. When you take that away, when you take the buying power, when you take the consuming power of black American, all industries collapse overnight. All of them. Cultural too. Music, sport, entertainment. Without black influence, America loses its global grip. Political too. Without the black vote, America spirals into unchecked extremism. Spiritually too, without the resilience of and creativity of black people, America loses its moral compass. So Trump's begging proves it. It proves that he is seeing the collapse and he knows the truth. And the truth is, when black people decide to leave America, America will fall. And he knows the truth that black Americans or black people are the one who are fueling the economy of America. Black culture is the one that is fueling the wealth of America. So, history teaches us something. When empires fall, they always beg the oppressed to save them. When Rome collapsed, it begged conquered tribes to stay loyal. When British Empire crumbled, it begged its colonies not to break away. And now America begs black people to stay even as it collapses under its own lies. France is collapsing and is begging African countries from the West to stay loyal to them. Don't miss this moment, my good family. Trump confession is not love. It is what I call desperation. Okay? And why now? Why is it now? Why is Trump confessing right now? Okay? Because Africa is rising. China sees it. Russia sees it. The European Union sees it. And they are all rushing in America or rushing to America trying to secure resources, influence, and partnerships. Okay? And black Americans sees it too. They see the chance to return, to invest, to build. They see Africa not as poverty, but they see Africa as an opportunity. And every black American that returns strengthens Africa and weakens America. Okay? And Trump fears this. He knows if the children of the diaspora come home, Africa becomes unstoppable. And that is reality. It is too late. It is too late for this. Because I need you to understand this, my brothers and sisters. Trump tears, begging, his promises, it is too late. Because for 400 years, black people begged America for protection. People begged America for justice. Black people begged America for equality, and America refused. Now the table is turning, or the table have turned. Now America is the one begging. But black people cannot afford to be deceived. We cannot afford to be lured back into loyalty to a system built on the suffering of black people. And believe me, this is what I call prophetic vision, or this is a prophetic vision. Why? Revelation speaks of Babylon falling. The prophet spoke of the oppressed rising, and we are living in that moment. We are living in a moment where prophecy are being fulfilled. And Trump confessed the truth, but the truth is not his gift. Okay? The truth is the weapon of black people. The truth proved what black people already knew. Truth proves that without black Americans, America falls. Without Africa, America falls. But with Africa, black people rises. With black people, Africa rises. So the future belongs to us. Yes. You know, when you open your eyes right now, you will see white America itself collapsing in fear. You know, their birth rate is falling, their wealth is declining, their political power is dividing, their young generations are turning away from their own systems and embracing black culture instead. Okay? So why do you think Gen Z in America listens to rap more than rock? Why do you think white kids wear dreadlocks, Converse, hip-hop, clothes? Why do you think even their language has shifted to black slang? Because the future is black. And they know it. They know exactly the future is black. And that's why Trump words sound less like leadership and more like begging. So this is the moment of history repeating itself. Okay? History repeating itself. All the empires that collapses were trying to, to lure the oppressed to help them. And I'll say this. Africa is rising. And all the eyes right now is shifting to Africa. Okay? Because Africa holds 30% of the world mineral, including cobalt and lithium, and rare earths that power the future of technology. Africa has the fastest growing population, young, energetic, and ready to build. Africa has nations developing tech hubs, renewable energy, and agriculture and manufacturing. Africa has unity growing stronger. Okay? So when diaspora return, when black Americans bring their skills, their money, their education, their innovation, Africa becomes unstoppable. Okay? And prophetic chose before black people. So here we are. Trump wants black people to stay. He confesses the truth. He promises protection. But family, the choice is yours. As a black American watching this video, the choice is yours. Do you want to stay in a burning house trying to put out flames with empty promises? Or do you want to move to the land of your ancestors, the land of your future, the land rising before our own eyes? This is not just about politics. It's about destiny, about prophecy. It's about choosing freedom over slavery. It's about life over death. This is about Africa over Babylon. So I'll say this. The time has come. He confessed. America admitted. Okay? And my people, one thing for sure is that when you talk about politics, because Trump said these things when he was trying to campaign, a politician can say anything. And I'm so happy that my black American brothers are seeing, because the promises he promised, I think has never been on the ground. When he took power, he signed bills, signed papers, dismissed DEI, and sent away migrants. What he did next to black people, trying to ban history, trying to whitewash history. So everything he's doing, everything he's saying, it's against the promises back then. So we need to differentiate between a leader and a politician. So Trump, these words, I think he was talking just as a politician, not as a leader. Because if he was talking as a leader right now, black people could not be saying otherwise. But just tell me what you think in the comment section about this video, okay? Until next episode, peace out.